Hey everyone, I'm here with Mitty, and Mitty has gone to EGX and played the Sonic Frontiers demo there. So I was lucky enough to get the chance to interview him, so we're gonna give you guys all the Frontiers information that you guys want. So let's start off just by asking, just in general, what version did you play it on? I know they have PS5, PC, and Switch demos.
So I played it, I think, on the PC port, but we mostly played it on Xbox controllers for both of them. So it might have been the Xbox port, actually.
I heard that they didn't offer the Xbox port in the demos, but okay. So let's just
It
start
was probably
with...
the PC port.
I think the most important thing to talk about is just, how did Sonic feel to control? Because there's a lot of worries about that part of the game.
I thought, for the most part, in the open world, I thought that Sonic felt actually pretty fun to control. The turning, which was a problem I had, I thought, like, in terms of the open, this could be a more open area turning. Turning's actually really responsive. In a way, it's sort of similar to Adventure in a sense, where it's very easy to, like, turn around, and just in general, it feels pretty fun to control.
Yeah, a lot of people worried that it was like forces just in an open world, but I think it's pretty different.
It is really different in that sense. It doesn't feel like forces pretty much at all, really.
And the boost,
in a way, it actually feels like it's somewhat. I don't know. Like, for me, it just felt really fun to control.
And you said that's only for the open world. So how did the cyberspace control?
The cyberspace felt a bit different. I still felt like it controlled well. However, I still had
You had what?
My main point with like the cyberspace was the fact that probably there was no drifting, but the level design didn't really require drifting. In a sense, it controlled similar to the open world.
Yeah, I see. So it's been confirmed that the cyberspace controls are locked to something different than the open world controls, just so that like it wouldn't be broken.
Yeah, and that's more when it comes to sort of turning. It's a lot more restrictive in the cyberspace.
Yeah, just accommodate
but not by
for, like,
that much.
Just accommodate for the linearity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of controls, like the sliders, I know a lot of people have been curious about that, and so how much do the sliders actually affect it?
I don't think they affect it that much, from what I played.
Alright, so they don't change too much, but I'd imagine that changes as, like, he levels up. I think they said, like, the blue boost that Sonic can do when he collects 400 rings, that's Sonic's max speed when you get to level 99.
Yeah, there is a worry I do have with that, because as people have seen, there is a trick where you can just get 50 rings over and over. I think they're gonna do something to patch that, because otherwise you're just gonna basically have infinite blue boost. But we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, so this game is just sounding like a speedrunner's heaven ever so often, with every passing day.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. This game would be really fun to speedrun, I imagine. I just want to see how many cyberspace levels you'd actually have to do. Because were they mandatory for progression? Could you get keys anywhere else?
I think, from what I played, I think they're going to be mandatory.
Alright.
They might not be. There might be other ways to get keys, but from what I've played, they look like they're going to be mandatory.
Alright, and speaking of what you played, how far did you actually get? Because you said you played the demo twice?
Yeah, the first time I made it to the boss with the 3 arm things.
Yes, Asura, I think it's called.
Yeah, Asura. On the first time, I didn't really I got like halfway to beating him, and then my demo ended. However, the second time I played, I got halfway through the city level.
The 3D or 2D city level?
The 2D one.
I see. Alright, yeah, so speaking of the general game, just like, how did the open world feel? Was there like enough to do? Or did it feel pretty empty?
I felt like at the start it felt like a tutorial area.
I'm pretty sure it was. Like, the start is a tutorial area.
Yeah, it pretty much is the tutorial area. But that did feel like there was enough to do from what I played. This might not be the thing. This might change when it comes to the actual game, and then the open world might end up just being boring. But from what I played, I think there's going to probably be enough.
Alright. And, like, just how enjoyable did you find the gameplay loop? Like, going from fighting bosses with combat, like, exploring the world, cyberspace. Did it just, like, feel right? Or did it feel, like, just weird? So just asking about the gameplay loop.
I actually think for the most part, it felt alright. Like, the cyberspace sort of felt like a nice break in a sense from the combat. Because I feel like, because at the start you don't have much combat options.
Yeah, because the skill tree, you've got to unlock it. How plentiful was the experience to unlock, like, new parts on the skill tree?
So actually, it unlocked by itself, so you didn't actually get to unlock any manually.
Ah, I see.
I guess from like the demo.
But you would unlock it with experience, right?
Yeah, I think once you defeat enemies, they drop these skill things essentially down, and once you collect them, you build a level up thing, and then from there you can unlock skills.
I see. But you didn't get to level anything up during your time with the game, I assume.
No, I don't think there was enough time to, or there wasn't enough enemies that dropped any.
Alright. How did the difficulty feel? Was it easy, hard, somewhere in the middle? Because you said you played it on the hard difficulty.
I'm gonna be honest, I thought it was pretty easy.
I mean,
in terms of
that's
difficulty.
what Sonic games these days.
I mean, Sonic games aren't really that difficult, but
hopefully it gets more challenging by like the later islands. Because like everything here is just applying to the tutorial area in like the first few bits.
Yeah, I can understand this being pretty easy. I hope they make something like a bit harder, because I mean sometimes it did feel a bit button mashy, but again, this is just the starting area.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
Hopefully as you go on, it's like the skill tree will lead to like more skill-based combos where like if you do the thing, it'll actually like help.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, I do hope that as well.
So let's talk about like the actual game itself, and specifically the visuals. How'd the game look? Was it jarring or anything?
No, not really. I actually thought the game looked quite nice, actually. Like the world when you looked at it, like I thought the visuals just really like they pop out essentially, and I don't know. I just thought they looked quite nice.
And how's like, because I know the earlier footage that we saw had like a lot of pop-in and technical issues. How did it run at the demo? It actually ran very smoothly from what I saw, or from what I played.
I see. There was I don't think there was that much pop-in issues. There was a bit. Like there was one place I went in and then I did kind of see a bit of pop-in, but again, that's probably nitpicking in terms of issues.
Alright, I see. And like throughout the world, was there enemy variety like just from the get-go? Like, did you have like stuff to fight that felt different? At the start, so it was mostly
3 bosses or mini bosses in a sense, but most regular enemies, they felt the same. But again, it was like the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's fair.
Wouldn't expect them to show massive enemy variety, but that is an issue that could happen. That's what I feel like they need to do. They need to make a lot more enemy varieties.
It does seem like throughout the footage we've seen that there is a lot of variety.
Yeah.
Just hopefully they can keep it up.
Yeah, that's probably one issue I might have with the game, is that they're going to keep the same enemies just the same. I hope they don't, but I don't think. I think there will be enough.
Yeah, I hope so too. So let's go to Cyberspace for a second. So you played 3 Cyberspace levels: Green Hill, Sky Sanctuary, the 2D city level. Was the city level like taken from any other place, or was it fully original?
I think the city level was completely original.
Okay.
From what I played of it.
Yeah, and like
For playing the city level, there was no spots where I'm like, oh, this is from this game. I didn't recognize any of it.
okay, that's good. So just talking about Cyberspace in general, like, just did it feel okay? Like, was it as jarring as a lot of people are making it out to be, or was it just like a nice break?
Not so. Green. It depends on the cyberspace level. Actually, Green Hill did feel a bit jarring, but Sky Sanctuary actually felt pretty nice to play. Because from playing that, I'm like, oh, this level's really fun actually.
Oh, that's good to
So
hear. I know a lot of
I
people...
did notice a bit
Yeah.
of the reused level design in those, but
Yeah.
you know, that's only because I know the levels off by heart.
Yeah. Because, like, to most of the casual players, they just won't notice that at all.
They would, yeah, you wouldn't notice if you were a casual player.
Yeah. And also, a lot of people were complaining about an issue with, like, the jump from, I believe it was the Tokyo Game Show demo, where the jump in the cyberspace levels, like, killed all your momentum. And the cyberspace levels just felt bad to control.
I can understand, like, the jump complaint. I didn't, personally for me, I thought the jump was fine. But mainly because the air dash kind of, because I use the air dash to kind of make up for it. But I can understand, like, when you jump, you really do lose like all your momentum, or like all your forward speed.
I see. And speaking of that forward, like, dash, air dash thing, so it's like an evolution of the air boost from Forces, or how did it work exactly? It's like we've seen it a lot, where you just dash in the air.
Yeah, that's just like you see a lot of air dash because you kind of have to. But overall, I think the air dash is probably, I think it's pretty fun. I do think it's I think it's like on par with Force's air dash though.
Yeah, because the Forces air boost is
In
like
terms
the
of how it
best.
works.
Yeah, it's the best execution in the series so far.
Yeah,
Not something you expect to hear about Forces, but still.
it's probably one of the only things it does the best.
Yeah. So let's just, like, talk about the music as well. How's the music for, like, both Cyberspace and the open world?
The open world one, you don't really hear it like that much. It's a lot more mellow, which I guess you could say is fine for the open area.
Yeah, it fits.
Because, you know, it's not really aiming to be like an action-oriented thing.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, unless it's a combat. Was there a battle theme?
Yeah, there is, and it does. But it's still a bit mellow. But
Okay.
I guess it's fine because it does go a bit up in intensity, but not by much.
Does it, like, switch between, like, is it a jarring switch, or does it, like, gradually build in as you get next to an enemy?
Gradually.
Ah, okay. That's cool. I think a lot of people were hoping for, like, an adaptive soundtrack, which is, like, goes hard as soon as you get near an enemy. And the cyberspace tracks. I know we haven't actually heard anything from the third city level. We haven't heard the track from that.
That one is pretty good, I'd say. So far, the best one we've seen is the Sky Sanctuary one. I think everyone's
the Green Hill Zone track. Yeah, the Green Hill Zone track just leaked today, I think. Or it might have been yesterday.
Yeah. When I first heard it, let's just say I'm not the biggest fan of that one. I don't really feel like it's a great fit for like the first level or Green Hill.
Yeah, but I see. And Sky Sanctuary, you said, was the best one, then?
Yeah, it also felt like it really fit the aesthetics of it as well.
Oh, that's good to hear. And so what was, like, the track like for the 2D city level?
Honestly, don't remember much of it, if I'm being realistic.
Yeah, okay. That's fair. So I think after the city level, is that when the Eggman cutscene would play? Because I know you said you
Yeah.
didn't get that far. Speaking of the
got-
cutscenes, how did they like the cutscenes? Did they look fine? How's the animation?
The animation looks fine in the cutscenes, from what I saw.
Okay.
Uh,
Is it like an
it just
improvement
looks
over
decently
Forces?
animated.
Is it an improvement over Forces?
I'd say it's more like Generations sort of
I see.
cutscenes animation.
Was there like an initial cutscene that played before Green Hill, or did it just launch you straight into Green Hill?
No, so there is a initial cutscene, and it drops you just outside of the cyberspace level of Green Hill.
I see.
But you're not forced to go into the Green Hill cyberspace level. You could just choose not to.
I see. So what was the initial cutscene?
It's mostly just you see Sonic lying down, and then you hear a voice saying you need to get up or something along those lines.
I see. Because a lot of people saying that like there's an initial cutscene where Tails, Amy, and Sonic are flying to cyberspace, so that wasn't in the demo?
That was not part of the demo, unfortunately.
I guess they're trying not to reveal too much about the story then.
Yeah.
Oh, going back to the open world, like, how to, like, there's Amy's memory tokens that you have to find, right? And, like, these are collectibles, so were they, like, hard to reach? Or, like, did you have to, like, do something, or did they just give them to you, like the rings and forces?
Uh,
Were they, like, a reward for
I
exploring?
don't remember that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess it would be
I
kind of hard
remember.
to remember.
Because they didn't show you... No, they didn't really show you much of it from what I remember from the demo. Or like, oh, here's where you collect like Amy tokens or something.
Alright. And how's the open world level design? Did it feel, like, fleshed out, or was it just, like, very basic?
It seemed, from like the starting bit, it seemed a bit basic because, yeah, it felt like there was a path you had to take, but then on the off pass, it sort of felt like, oh, here's this like mini section you can do, and you get this orb thing.
I think,
But
yeah, those orb
It
things...
didn't really feel like it integrated well,
Okay.
in my opinion.
So it's like, it stands out, like, it doesn't fit in with the world?
Yeah, it's pretty jarring.
Okay, that's fair. Well, like, was the design in them, like, simplistic?
Yeah, it's sort of like a mini section in Boost where it tests your quick reaction in a sense.
I see. Did you get to any like of the other challenges in the open world? Like, I know some people got to like a time trial challenge.
I don't know, unfortunately.
Alright, so you just got to do the platforming. Did you try out the drop dash?
Yeah, I did actually.
Was it like worth
I'm gonna
pulling
be
off?
honest. For the most part, I don't think it was, because the main issue is with the drop dash is if you land and you boost, it's actually a lot faster than going for the drop dash.
I see.
So I hope they fix that or give you a realistic reason to go for a drop dash, because I never really felt like I had to.
Yeah. Okay, another thing, a lot of people had the complaint that Sonic's base speed on like the ground when he's not boosting was really slow. Did you get that feeling?
Yeah.
Like, you did? Okay.
Yeah, I did. Unfortunately, when you're not boosting, even on rails as well, especially on rails, it seems like it's a bit slow. Like, it should be a bit faster.
Alright, but hopefully that can be fixed when you like either turn up the sliders or level up your speed.
Yeah. Yeah, I really hope so.
Yeah, because my main thing with this game is I really like how it's giving you like an approach to like you can play any way you want. You can level up your power for combos or your speed for exploration. I think that's part of it is really cool. And hopefully the skill tree will actually play into that by allowing you to unlock... Is the skill tree just for combat moves, or do you get moves that you can use for exploration?
I think for the most part, it's for combat, but there might be some moves for movement.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure. because from what they showed us, they only showed us like a basic one of it. But I think it might have some stuff for movement.
And does like the skill tree actually like extend further than what we've seen so far?
I don't think it does.
It's just the moves that we've already seen? Okay, that's...
No, there's going to be more,
Ah.
I think. But in terms of like the exact skill tree, or like from what you've seen, I don't think it is.
Okay, I just want to know if there's like more to it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
could lock
there
more
probably
moves.
is.
Okay, that's good to hear. So, just gonna wrap up now. Like, what were your general thoughts of the demo? Like, a number rating? Just anything else you have to add?
I liked the idea that it had. I think, personally, for me, I'm actually pretty excited for this game because, for me, this is the first good game Sonic Team has made since Generations. And honestly, I'm pretty excited for it. Overall, I'd say from what I played, I'd give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
I do have my worries about it, but overall, I think this game's going to be good.
Yeah, well, I'm personally really excited for the game. And now we're just 50 days away from release, so hopefully it won't disappoint.
Yeah.
Alright,
It's
so
a lot closer than I thought.
anything else to add, or is that everything?
I'll leave it with a fun fact. So, to get an S rank in the demo, they set the time limit to 99 minutes, which is longer than you can get by playing the demo, because the demo ends in 15 minutes. I just thought it was funny.
Yeah, that does seem funny. Alright, so that's it. Thanks for watching.